Welcome back. This is Defender Chassis. My name's Scott. Question of the day is, have you seen my tool? I got the idea for this video from watching another YouTube channel from Jim Bollinger at Do Right Fab. Now, he showed a welding magnet that looked like a pretty nice piece to me. Now, typically, I think everybody knows what this type of welding magnet is. It's a $3 item. You get it from Harbor Freight. It's made in China. Now, we're not real big on made in China stuff here at Defender Chassis, but sometimes you can't find anything else. For instance, this type of a welding magnet made in the USA, just not around. But what Jim had that I found interesting was made by Lincoln Electric. Now, Lincoln Electric is typically a made in USA company. I have several of their welders and have been to their manufacturing facility in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, unfortunately, what I didn't realize when I bought these is that they actually have these made by a company called Magmate. Now, you can find their website at www.magnetics.com, and I'll include a link to that below as well. Magmate is a trade name for this style of magnet. Now, what Jim showed was this magnet right here. It's a K3318-1. Now, the benefit of this magnet is that it can be turned on and off. For instance, you know, there's no right now I've got nothing. I mean, but with a twist of this knob, suddenly now you've got now it works. Now, the benefit of that is if you've ever used these and you use them around a place where you're doing fabrication, you're going to end up with 4 million pieces of metal that you got to somehow get off of here, and you know what kind of a task that is. But I've saved a little, saved some chips off the bandsaw. So let's take a look and see how easily this stuff comes off. You can see the strength of the magnet, and you can see the amount of shavings that stay on that. Now, when we turn that magnet off, you'll see that in fact, it's just all gone. There's nothing there, and it won't pick up anymore. But we can do the same thing again. Turn the magnet on. You can see the chips just fall away. Now, as I mentioned before, we're kind of big on made in USA here at Defender Chassis, and unfortunately, I didn't realize until I purchased these that these are actually made in China. Now, that's not set in stone. I'm not 100% sure. The box does say made in China, but the company that makes these indicates on their website that they make them in the USA. Now, I'm not sure if that's something that's changed and this is old stock, but anyway, I've got these now, and I thought I'd show you how they perform. Now, there's actually several of these that Lincoln Electric sells. You can see here there's 5 different models. Now, a couple of those are just for lifting, and one is a pivoting model. Now, I paid $36 for the K3318-1. If you buy it from Magmate, or if you buy it has a yellow decal on it, and it's a little bit more places like Zorro. So that might explain why these were a little cheaper. Now, I also purchased, so you guys could see, the K3309, the one there at the top left. Let's unbox it. You can take a look at it. So you can see there's quite a difference in size. So let's see how it holds up to the metal chips. See what it does. See, pick them all up, and when we release the magnet, I've still got a few sticking on there. Let's see if we can get rid of those. Now you can see in this case, they still there's a few still stragglers. So with this magnet, they don't all automatically remove. Okay, so that's one benefit. And as I was thinking about how to review these, I thought, what's the important thing about a tool like this? And I was looking over the spec sheet, and one of the things that Lincoln references is the actual magnetic force. Now I can tell you that, that this has a great deal more force than this, but the advertised force for this is 80 pounds, while the advertised force for this is 400 pounds. Now the Harbor Freight magnet, they advertise it at 20 pounds. So the question is, do you actually get that? I can tell you, I've got two pieces of half-inch. Well, let's just take a look here. Actually, this is 3/8 plate, and say you wanted to weld this at a 90-degree angle, you may put it in a position something like this, and then put this magnet in there, and then turn it on. So the question is, how well does that hold? Well, let me pick this up so you can see. Well, it'll slide, but it's holding that plate. Let's see what the other ones do. There. Now you see the small one won't pick that one up, which is interesting because this piece of plate should only be about 9 pounds. And this should have 80 pounds of force. Now, a little disclaimer. Lincoln gives a note on their spec sheet that said the hold varies depending upon thickness of material and the angle being used. So I thought about that a little bit, and I thought, well, surely the best pull, the best force on this would be with a straight pull, like so. So, and you can see this will pick up the plate in that manner. So, just to put a number against it, what I thought was, how about we build a fixture so that we can pull this and see what it actually will hold. So what I did was, I built this fixture. And this fixture is made so that I can pick it up with a hook from my chain fall. And it's made so that I can insert this magnet and it protrudes from the bottom slightly. So what I'll be able to do is turn the magnet on and pick this up, and I've got a little jig set up over here, a little fixture, test fixture, so that we can quantify it. Now, it also will work with this magnet. You can see it goes in as well. And it protrudes from the bottom. So let's go over and let me show you the test fixture that I've got set up. It's highly technical. Actually, kind of a quick deal. But I think it'll work, and I think we can quantify what kind of pull these magnets actually have, and we'll compare them to the Harbor Freight as well. Now, I'm going to use this edge for the Harbor Freight. And I'm simply, because it doesn't have nearly the pull that these are supposed to have, I'm just going to use my hands to pick it up. So let me move you over there and show you what the test fixture looks like, and we'll test these things out. Okay, so here we are. Now what I've done, I've taken this highly scientific scale. It's actually my bathroom scale. And I've placed on my bathroom scale my anvil. Now all you anvil aficionados, please stick with me here and don't start daydreaming. But as you can see, my anvil weighs, I'm looking at 161 pounds. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this magnet, this Harbor Freight magnet on here, and then I'm going to pull up on it and try to get it to release. Now, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to lift this 160 pound anvil off of this scale. We might do it with the big magnet, because it should pull 400 pounds. But let's just pull this up and we'll watch the scale and just see how much weight I remove from the scale before the magnet releases. So, I'm trying to do a straight pull as best I can. So right there we're at 151 pounds. There's 10 pounds that it's holding, and I can feel it starting to release. There's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, well, I shook a little bit. I'd say we're looking at something in the neighborhood of 17, 18 pounds there. Let's do it 2 more times just to get some real data. 50, 46, looks like 145. So that one's about 16. Let's do it 1 more time. There's 150, 145, looks like about 144 and a half. So we're going to call that 16 and a half. So it's looking like the pull on this is around 16 to 17 pounds. Now Harbor Freight advertises it as 20, so it doesn't really surprise me. It actually kind of surprised me that we got that much. So now here's the fixture. Let me roll chain fall in. Now what I'm going to do is drop the fixture onto the anvil, and let's take the other magnet, and I've got it on, by the way. It's hard to turn on once you get it in there, and I'm going to stick it right in the middle as best I can. Okay, get this positioned. So, there we are. We've got the jig centered. And now I'm going to start lifting with the chain fall. So now we've got it, tensions and everything. There's 140, and there it released. So it looks like maybe I don't have much more than the Harbor Freight. So let's do it again. But I'm going to remove the chain fall, and I'm just going to do this by hand. So, it released so quick I didn't see what it said. We'll have to look at the video to figure out what where it was at. So let's try it one more time. We're at 161. So now we've got a hold of it. Pulling square and evenly as possible. 150. 145. I can feel it coming loose. 44. 43. 42. 41. 40. 38. 37. 36. So, what are we looking at? About 136 on that one. So, if we do the math, 136 from 161 is 25 pounds. Is that what we're looking at? So it's kind of fallen short from the 80 that they quote on the spec sheet. Let's do it one more time to see if we can repeat that number. 45, 40, 39. Looked like we got about 137 that time. So I don't think we're going to do hardly any better than that. So let's go ahead and put that aside. And let's bring in the big boy. Now this one, I'm going to have to be creative to get it in position where I want. So, I'll slip it in, get it into position in the fixture. I'm going to go ahead and hang it on the chain fall. And I'm going to pull it up. Okay, now that I've got this thing off of in position, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to turn the magnet on. Put it back in the fixture, get it all centered up. So, now, get this in position, and I'm going to lower it down onto the animal. We're going to release the weight, and you can see now that we're above 161. Now I'm going to slowly raise this while we're watching the scale and see what we get. So you can already tell it's doing a lot better. It's 100. 90, 80, 70, and then it released. So looked like we were at about 65. So we didn't quite get 100 pounds. It's kind of disappointing because they quote 400. So let's go ahead and let her back down and give her another try. Okay, test number 2. There's 100, 90, 80, 70 up, and there it released. Okay, we did that one at a little different angle. So let's go back to what we did on the first test. Which looks something like this. And try it again. Okay. Third test. 20, 100, 90, 80, about 75. Okay. Well, I think that gives us a pretty good idea of what we're looking at here. So let's go back. Let's go back and kind of summarize what we found. Okay. So what did we figure out? Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, these magnets, I mean, while they may not meet what the spec indicates that they'll do, and I'm sure that the company that makes these, you know, would come back and say, well, you know, that force is, you know, due to in this condition, and you know, the magnet on these is set back a bit from the surface we were pulling from. And they actually do, they do work well. They do what they're supposed to do. They hold stuff in place. Now I will mention that this large magnet, if you're doing chassis fabrication like we do here, it's not going to be as much use as what this magnet is because of the width. You're looking between these two plates at a little over 2 inches. So you're not going to find a whole lot where you're going to be able to, you know, slip it through there. Now on the other hand, the smaller magnet is 1 inch. So, you know, anything you got bigger than 1 inch, you're going to be able to use these different angle combinations to, you know, position a tube or a tab or, you know, whatever it is that you're welding. So, although I'm disappointed in the fact that these are made in China, although I didn't think that's what I was going to get when I ordered them. Of course, now I'm stuck with them. And by the way, I paid for these. This is $36, and this was $150 some. Now, the time was all said and done, and I paid for shipping. I had $200 in these two magnets. Now, if you go to Zorro or one of those places and buy the Magmate branded magnets that indicate they are made in USA, they're going to run you a little more money. So, I think, you know, for $3, I hate to say it, but the made in China magnet is probably your best bet. I probably, if I had to do it over again, would not buy this magnet. I do like the feature of this one that you know, that you can pick up, you know, when it gets inevitably, it gets, you know, metal grindings and things of that nature on it, that, you know, you're going to be able to, you know, basically turn that knob and release it. And this one releases clean, where this one, the big one, you know, still had a little bit left on it. If this was made in USA, I'd be all over it. But made in China, I don't think I would buy this one again. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. If there's something else that you'd like tested out, any tools that maybe you see me using them in one of my videos or something, and you'd like to see some details just on that tool, let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, hey, appreciate a thumbs up. And if you've got a YouTube account, hit subscribe, and that way you'll get notices on the next video as they come up. So, hey, I'll see you on the next Have You Seen My Tool?